You've been knocked down and got up again. In a corner, you're surrounded, no defenders. You've hid your fury and kept it in, but it's time now you ignite and turn to embers. Like a phoenix, you burst in a fire, burn a thirst and desire. You transform right up in a flash. You spread your wings to rise from the ashes. Phoenix, you burst in a fire, burn a thirst and desire. You transform right up in a flash. You spread your wings to rise from the ashes.
Electric Boogaloo.
You see the truth behind the veil, and you know that they're just looking for attention. Oh, you don't let their ruthlessness prevail. Oh, it's time now, light your fires for ascension. Like a phoenix, you burst in a fire, burn a thirst and desire. You transform right up in a flash. You spread your wings to rise from the ashes. Phoenix, you burst in a fire, burn a thirst and desire. You transform right up in a flash. You spread your wings to rise from the ashes.
Bittersweet and I'm walking slow. Sensitive, feel the afterglow. Looking for things that I can't control. Fear from my past cause it always shows. Do I wanna try? Can I let it go? Running from the past, wanting to be sure. Chaos in my mind, constant deja vu. But every time it comes back to you. Whoa, I'm still falling. Whoa, but it tastes bittersweet. Whoa, I keep on falling. Whoa, I like the taste of it.
Hello everyone, welcome to our first reaction stream of the FPL season. It's our first new series we're doing on the channel. We're doing weekly streams at the end of the game week, and then obviously the deadline stream before the game week deadline. So as part of the reaction stream, we'll go and take a look at some of the results for this week. Just talk about some of the players who got points. And then we'll look ahead to next week in terms of looking at players to watch and just going through some transfer plans and looking at our teams. So we'll go ahead and jump into it in just a bit. Wait for a few more people to jump into the stream. Feel free to vote on the poll as well. Currently got 6 votes at the moment. And just pop your questions into the chat if you have any.
So taking a look at how the games got on in Gameweek 12, it started off with Leicester and Chelsea. This was a very interesting game, to be honest.
Oh yeah, poll's supposed to be Gameweek 12, not 13. That's an error on our part. But yeah, it's whatever. Just act like it's Gameweek 12.
Alright, sorry guys, the poll is back up now. Kavitz says, hey mate, I have a dilemma here. I can only get either Jota or Reece James with all my future plans. Which one? Do you have a current Chelsea defender? If you do, then I think you could probably get rid of Reece James and move to Diogo Jota. But if we're looking at Chelsea's fixtures coming up compared to Liverpool's, I do think Chelsea have got the better Liverpool have got the better fixtures. Obviously, Reece James is an attacking beast, but he also played in the Champions League this week, so I'm not sure if he's going to start on the weekend. So potentially Diogo Jota could be the better pick there. Captain Trent over Salah. I mean, it would have been good for Game Week 12, but I think Game Week 13... It is just good to stick with Salah every week, so you know he's going to get the consistent points. Duke says, squad, Ramsdale, Foster, Chilwell, James, Trent, Cancelo, Livramento, Douglas Luiz, Mbuemo, Rafinha, Salah, Son, Tony, Antonio, Jimenez. Miney left 0.8. Transfer thoughts, Chilwell, Rico, Henry / Ben Davies. Well, if we look at the Chilwell injury news, they got him at a low chance of playing with his knee injury. I can see you've already got Reece James as well, so it's probably worthwhile moving on Chilwell. In terms of Rico, Henry, Ben Davies, I'm assuming you only have... Well, if you can get rid of Chilwell, you probably have a bit more money to spend on a defender instead of going to a 4.5. I thought of carrying forward transfer, but now I guess I have to do Alonso to Chilwell. Or Chilwell to Alonso. Fair enough. Chilwell to Reguilon / Alonso. Reguilon to outperform Alonso in coming few weeks. We'll look at Spurs fixtures really quickly. Obviously good fixtures. I mean, I think Reguilon could probably outperform Alonso in the next 3 weeks because depending on the length of Chilwell's injury, he could just get rotated with Alonso, which is going to take points off both of them. So I can see the reasoning for Reguilon there. I have McCarthy, Foster, Cancelo, Reece James, Trent, Livramento, Alonso, Son, Salah, Foden, Mbeumo, Brownhill, Vardy, Hwang, Antonio. With 1.7, how should I spend the transfers? I'd look to get rid of either Foden or Antonio. I definitely think Foden or Antonio are the two players that need to depart from that squad. You could go Foden down to a Gallagher or someone like that and then have enough money to upgrade Antonio to a premium forward potentially. That could be a route. Or also bring in Ivan Toney instead of Antonio. Could be a shout. Is a -4 for a Chilwell replacement worth it this week if he's out injured? You just got to see the length of his injury. I think I'd hold on to the transfer for now. And if he's out for a while, then the -4 hit's worth it. But if he's just going to miss this week and be back next week, you're taking a -4, which is, for example, you bring in Reguilon and he gets a clean sheet and he gets a -4. It just totally takes away the clean sheet. So it's just depending on the length of the injury. Is it good to keep Diaz? I mean, he's going to get played a lot of minutes in the Champions League, and I'm not sure about his minutes in the Prem. I think if you already have Cancelo, it's probably just worth hopping off Diaz and maybe getting a Chelsea defender. I think for Chelsea and City, regardless of who they're playing, they're going to get plenty of clean sheets. Chilwell apparently out for the rest of the season. Okay, well, there we go. So I do think it's worth getting rid of Chilwell for the -4 for sure. That's going to screw a lot of people over because I saw a lot of people transfer him in the last couple of weeks. That's very unlucky timing, to say the least. It's better to go for attacking defenders, 100%. Yeah, that's 100% true. Okay, so now to the reaction part of the stream. Let's just have a look at the games across Game Week 12 and give a bit of an initial thoughts and feedback. So first game, Leicester vs Chelsea at the King Power. This game, it was a bit of a test for Leicester to see if they could stand up to the best opposition, but they just got blown away by Chelsea. Rudiger goal, Kante scored a screamer from a fairly fortunate Reece James assist in a sense, but Reece James was very unlucky not to get more returns in that game. And also Pulisic came on to get himself a goal and looked pretty decent from a Ziyech assist. And then Chua with the assist, obviously he's out for the future. So I think from this game, it was good to see that the three main Chelsea defenders were highly owned, got plenty of points. A lot of people were rewarded. And I think now Reece James is probably the best Chelsea defensive option, if not Rudiger, because Rudiger seems to be playing Champions League and Premier League and just getting minutes in both and getting plenty of FPL points. Kringly 27, I was thinking I should downgrade Hwang to Davis and sell Livramento to get Alonso. I mean, Hwang's got two very good fixtures coming up with Norwich and Burnley, so it's probably not the time to get rid of him. Obviously, he's not been in the best form, but he's looking okay for the Wolves. And Norwich away this week, it's kind of hard to get rid of the Wolves asset. Villa Brighton 2-0. I'm assuming not many people had players in this game. Mings and Watkins scored. It'd be interesting to see how Watkins goes with Gerrard as the manager. Obviously, he played one game, one goal. And he could also present himself as a decent option if he keeps getting attacking returns, because he was a very good pick last year. Burnley Palace, the only real player people had in this game was Gallagher, and he got an assist, which was nice to see. He was actually very, very close to getting 2 bonus points, in fact, despite only getting 1 assist. And Anderson actually got 2 assists, and he nearly scored the same bonus as Gallagher. So I think Gallagher's definitely proving to be a great pick. He's getting on bonus, or getting a lot of bonus points for hardly any attacking returns, which is impressive. Newcastle Brentford, this was a thriller as well, 3-3. St. Maximin scored. Joe Linton scored, which is quite surprising considering his past performances over the last 3 or 4 years. St. Maximin assist as well, and Ivan Toney got a fortunate goal on that one. Toney, on the bonus points, he wasn't that close to getting bonus points. There was a lot of players that got double returns, and this Kanyos got 2 assists. Joe Linton got himself a goal, and then St. Maximin got himself a goal and assist. St. Maximin also is another one to watch from that game because he's got okay fixtures coming up. He's actually snuck up into the third highest scoring forward position. And I guess the next 4 weeks aren't necessarily that bad. Leicester away has proven to be an alright fixture for opposition. Arsenal and Chelsea do quite well against them. So potentially a decent shout. Obviously a difficult run with Liverpool, City, United. But he's back in a little bit of form. Norwich, Southampton, it was good to see a win for Dean Smith in this game. And Timu Puki's got himself another goal. He's actually... What's he made now? The 7th highest scoring forward with 45 points. He snuck up to 4 goals this season. Has actually got himself 2 goals in his last 2 weeks. And Norwich have some decent fixtures. They're nothing too special. But potentially a differential forward there if Dean Smith can get the most out of him. And it's the combination of Adam Armstrong and Shay Adams with the goal for Southampton. This Watford game versus United, oh my goodness. What happened there with United? They are sucking hard at the moment. Ismail Assar missed 2 pens, but he got himself a goal. Dennis is also presenting himself as a decent shout, as well as King. Both of them have been getting plenty of returns in the last couple of weeks. King obviously goal this week. Dennis has been in very strong form. He's actually the 4th highest scoring forward at the moment. 14 points this week, 12 points in Game Week 9, didn't play Game Week 10. Watford do have some tricky fixtures coming up, but after that a decent run. Brentford, Burnley, Palace, Wolves is okay. And Ronaldo assist in that game. So Ronaldo could also be a decent premium option. Not this week obviously, but after as well. He's got 43 points, 5 points Game Week 12. We all know he's got Chelsea away this week, which is unlikely for him to get a goal. But look at this extended run of fixtures for United. From now till Game Week 27, that's unreal. So if Ronaldo can get decent minutes in the Prem and get back into some nice form, there's no reason why he can't be one of the best premium forward shouts. Wolves, West Ham, Jimenez got himself another goal, and that's seen a lot of people transfer him in. He is one of the most transferred in players. And he got himself on bonus as well, because he gets fairly involved for Wolves. He was coming fairly shallow to get plenty of passes in that game. So I was fairly impressed with Jimenez, and I think for the next 2 weeks, especially with Norwich and Burnley, definitely going to be a good forward option. Liverpool, Arsenal, all the usual suspects, Mane, Salah, Jota and Trent. Mane's been chipping away really nicely. He's one that's gone significantly under the radar, but he's now the 2nd highest scoring midfielder, I believe. 71 FPL points, 12 points Game Week 12. He went on a very decent run at the start of the season. 4 consecutive returns, 7-8, and then in the last 2 weeks last 3 weeks he's got himself 2 goals and an assist. And then obviously Liverpool's fixtures are very good. So that also makes Diogo Jota a very good option as well if he can keep getting starts. Because he's such a good value pick at 7.5, especially playing in striker. Very, very good stuff. That was first return since Game Week 9 where he got 11 points. He's getting some fairly consistent minutes for Liverpool as well, so definitely could be a good shout. Then City, Everton, 3-0 City. Sterling, Bernardo, Rodrigo and Cancelo was the main one from this game that people had. Got himself triple bonus points, an assist and a clean sheet. And for the Kane owners, it was quite disappointing. He nearly scored a couple of goals and on a couple of occasions, and Rafinha didn't play either. Looking at the chat, Giordano Mitchell transferred in Bernardo, underrated player. I definitely think he is underrated in FPL terms. I think he's getting plenty of praise. Now he's being recognised for all of his returns. I think he's probably one of the best City assets apart from Cancelo at the moment, because he's playing every single game. He's not really getting that many minutes in the Champions League, and he's at a decent price. Like, he is cheaper than Foden, so I definitely think he is underrated for FPL. Greenlee 27, I was thinking I should downgrade Twang to Davis, and so yeah, we touched on that already. Oh, like 2 weeks later, yeah. Well, in 2 weeks' time, they're not that bad. TGK gamer, Rudiger won't get as many attacking returns compared to Reece James. James is currently the best Chelsea defender. This is true. Like, the only thing with Reece James is potentially he may not play this weekend. Saying that, it is Manchester United at home because he played in the Champions League, which just makes me think it's going to be Azpilicueta Alonso in the Prem. But there's no doubt that if Reece James is playing every week, then he's the best Chelsea defender for sure. Cavett says, I went for Rudiger only because he's now at 100%. That was the reason he went for Rudiger originally. We bought in Rudiger. I can't remember which week it was. It was quite a while ago. I do believe it was for Southampton at home in Game Week 7. We brought him in. So he didn't make the best start, 2.0 points, but he's been very good in the last 4 weeks. 9, 6, 2, and 14. For a centre-back, he actually gets a decent amount of attacking returns, like 2 goals, 1 assist. And he's found himself on the some bonus points as well, which is good. He got himself 2 bonus points Game Week 12. And I think confirmed on Chilwell, confirmed not playing for the rest of the year. Oh, I think that makes Alonso a significantly better option then, because there's no one really taking that left back position off him at the moment for Chelsea. So I think you can pretty much have him down to be playing most games, unless Azpilicueta comes across to the left and takes minutes off him. But I think it's mainly going to be Azpilicueta and Reece James rotating on that right hand side. Good to see Trent rested in the Champions League this week. Yeah, it was. It means he should be 100% fit for the weekend as well. So with all these fixtures in mind, let's just have a look at how the team got on. For Game Week 12, a decent week for us this week. 81 FPL points, 457k Game Week rank, and 285k over rank. It's been quite decent progress for us, considering that we started at pretty much 3 mil in Game Week 1. We've only taken 1 red arrow so far this season. And we've now found ourselves 285k, so that's a decent position to push for the top 100k. We did tank the Sanchez points this week. He didn't play, but if we bought in Ramsdale, he only got a couple of points. And I don't think many people played Ben Foster either. I think the best options is Rudiger +1 Chelsea fullback. Yeah, it's fair enough. I think it could be worth going for the double Chelsea defence, as long as Rudiger's one of them, because you know you're going to get that nailed playing defender every week. And then you can go for Alonso or Reece James, whoever you prefer. Please suggest one midfielder. I want to replace Ben Rama. I already have Gallagher and Jota. Good question. I would say they're 2 of the best. You could go for Mbuemo, who's got 4 decent weeks of fixtures. Although he's been very unlucky not to get attacking returns, so you think it's potentially just going to be a matter of time for him. And also, Maxwell Cornet is a decent shout. Let's just have a quick look at Maxwell Cornet. Burnley's fixtures are solid. Tottenham at home's not that bad, actually. Wolves away is a bit difficult. Newcastle, West Ham, Watford, Aston Villa, Everton. A very good extended run of fixtures. And obviously he's been in great form. 15-10, 1-7. 5 goals so far this season. And I think with a 2.4% ownership, also a decent differential shout. Emile Smith-Rowe or Bukayo Saka are also, obviously we've got Saka in our team if you want to go for the Arsenal avenue. They've got Newcastle at home, Game Week 13's decent. United away, Everton away is not the easiest, but then it gets very nice for Arsenal in this little run. Southampton, West Ham, Leeds, Norwich. So yeah, if Saka and Smith-Rowe can get scoring again, they'll be very good options. Thoughts on Ben Johnson? He's starting regularly. I think he's been in very impressive form the last couple of weeks. The fact that he's kept Soufal out of the team, who's a very important player for West Ham. They rely on him quite frequently. Ben Johnson 100% has been in great form. In terms of FPL asset potential, 4 million, so he's probably one of the best £4 million options in the game currently for sure. Let's have a look at West Ham's fixtures. I mean, he's not looking likely for clean sheets over the next 5. City, Brighton, Chelsea, Burnley, Arsenal. I mean, if you can keep Sufala team from game week 18 onwards, then he's decent. But yeah, I think if you're looking for a 4 million defender to save some money, he could be worthwhile. But I don't think I'd be having him in the starting 11. We got the better fixture, Arsenal or Burnley. Arsenal against Newcastle at home. Burnley at Spurs at home. Honestly. Oh, well, obviously Arsenal got the better fixture against Newcastle at home, but Spurs at the moment are looking a bit dodgy. Especially from an attacking standpoint. Game Week 18 is the time to get West Ham players. Yes, sir. Game Week 18 is this time. Vardy or Son? I really like Son. I think Son's a good pick. He's definitely the best Spurs asset at the moment. For us personally, the only reason we got in Kane was because we had Vardy and it was an easier move to get in Kane than Son. But if we could have gone in Son, then I think he would have been the preferred option. But yeah, then amongst the defenders for us, Livramento 1, Rudiger 14, Cancelo 12, Trent 15. Very good from them. Gallagher got a return, which was nice. And Jimenez and Tony were fairly differential, got some points for us as well. And Kane was, a bit disappointing. I'll look at the team this week. The fixtures are looking very nice. I think we've got 8 home fixtures this week, which is good. And then Rafinha is flagged, but we do have Ben White against Newcastle at home, who could just come off the bench, potentially for a 6-pointer. Chelsea unlucky in UCL fixtures for injuries. Last time it was Lukaku, now Werner. Yeah, it is a bit unfortunate for them. But, I mean, they got the squad depth, so there's still plenty of players that can fill the voids. It's obviously not ideal for FPL. Looking at the poll, 47% of people score between 60 and 70, which is definitely a good score because the average, I believe, was 57. So hopefully people saw green arrows this week. I hope everyone did really well. I think it was, definitely this week was the week for the defenders of Chelsea, City, Liverpool. Yeah, they really flexed their muscles this week. All 3 of them had dominant performances for sure. We'll actually go through the fixtures for Game Week 13 one by one as well. Arsenal versus Newcastle, I definitely think it's a great game to target the Arsenal players. I've seen a lot of people transfer in Smith Rowe and Saka for this week. And I can see why. Newcastle have conceded a lot of goals this year. And although Arsenal didn't look the best against Liverpool in Game Week 12, they were looking fairly good before that. If we look at Saka's points, recorded 6 against Leicester, then he had a disallowed goal against Watford, and then Liverpool, they just got destroyed. So he's been okay. And then Smith Rowe's been immense as well for Arsenal. So I do think it's going to be a good one for Arsenal in this game. Palace Villa, I think there should be goals in this game. Palace have scored, 10 goals in their last 5? That'd be very impressive from an attacking standpoint. So I do think they'll score plenty. And then Aston Villa did score 2 against Brighton to have a fairly solid defence as well. So there could definitely be the potential for lots of goals in this game. Then Liverpool, Southampton. There's going to be a lot of Salah captaincies in this one, and I do think he's the best captaincy shout this week. During the busy fixture schedule, it's good to have a strong bench. Yeah, 100%. Well, obviously our bench at the moment is not looking great. We've got Livramento, who can be handy when he comes on. He has got a difficult fixture run over the Christmas period though, so I'm not sure he's going to be too much use off the bench, and Sissoko's not doing anything either. But the first 2 bench options aren't bad, that's for sure. We do have money in the bank as well. So yeah, Liverpool, Southampton, I think it's going to be Trent and Salah points in this one. Norwich, Wolves. Jimenez did score against Norwich away the last time Wolves played Norwich, and he did come off scoring in the Game Week 12 as well. Brighton, Leeds. I'm not sure how this one's going to go. I think Brighton might have this. Leeds have been pretty off this season. And then Brentford, Everton. could go either way. Brentford scored 3 goals in game week 12, but they've not been in the best form, neither at Everton. Burnley Spurs, try and keep your eyes open for this game. My gosh, it's going to be... I can almost put money on it's going to be like 1-0 or 0-0. Two extremely defensive teams that are very boring to watch. Leicester-Watford. That could be interesting, actually, because Watford are coming off beating United and Leicester have been in terrible form. So, honestly, that could go either way. City-West Ham will also be another very good game, because West Ham stood up to Liverpool, so hopefully they can put a decent game to City. And then probably the match of the week, Chelsea versus Manchester United. I can see United getting destroyed in this one. I think they've shown that they're just not the level that Liverpool, City and Chelsea are at. But then after this week, United have a fairly good fixture swing as well. Kai players. Unfortunately, I made my transfers early, so Chilwell is still there. But I have a strong bench. Yeah, well, that's not bad. As long as you got a strong bench that you can adapt to the injuries with. And then, I mean, even if you have made your transfers early, it's probably worth just taking the extra -4 for getting rid of Chilwell. Should we target Man U fixtures, even though they are shambolic? I mean, if you're going for any United assets after this Chelsea game, it's probably Ronaldo and then Luke Shaw, even though he's not great from an attacking standpoint. He's probably their best defensive asset for United. If you want as well, a differential one could be David De Gea in goals at 5 mil. If you want to get a more expensive keeper, he could potentially get some saves because United do concede a fair few shots. Duffy v Leeds or Walker v West Ham. I think I go Walker v West Ham. I think City's defence is that strong that they can keep a clean sheet against anyone. And Walker has got the better attacking potential. Should I transfer a mid from Arsenal or Palace? Well, if you could pick a mid from either Arsenal or Palace right now, you're definitely picking Gallagher. And then you could go for Smith Rowe, is probably the second best option. So yeah, I'd probably go Gallagher as the first best pick, and then Smith Rowe for sure. Thoughts on Alonso? Definitely going to be a good shout if he can play. Or he's going to get plenty of minutes, that's for sure, over the next month. Or next month or 2 months. So I can see him being one of the top scoring players over the Christmas period, that's for sure. If Man United get in Pochettino this week, they should get back to form after the Chelsea game. Well, I still think, yeah, United no doubt have the squad to beat anyone in the Prem. They're just playing poorly, and I do think after Chelsea, the fixtures are easy enough for them just to dominate most of those games. Saying that, they couldn't even beat Watford on the weekend, which is quite depressing. Mate, when I said I target Man U fixtures, I meant having players who play against them. Facts, honestly. Either way, Man U games are just good. They're good to watch because they're entertaining to see Man U lose. And they're conceding goals. Does it look like Rafinha and Jota will play this week? I think Jota should be fine to play. I do think Jota will be fine to play. If anyone has any information on Rafinha's availability, let me know. But I think Jota should be right. Rafinha has been flagged for us. I'm not too concerned if he doesn't play, because then we've just got Ben White against Newcastle at home and come off the bench, which is fine. I do hope Arsenal get a clean sheet in that game. I'm going to remove one of Kane or Vardy after Gameweek 15. Who will I replace them with? For premium forwards, I think Ronaldo is probably the best replacement in that period. Because I do think around Gameweek 15 is when United's fixtures start getting really good. Sorry about that. And then we go Ronaldo. Just look him up real quick. Gameweek 15, Crystal Palace. Yeah, that's really when the fixtures start getting good for United. So if Ronaldo can get minutes over the Christmas period, I'm hoping United prioritise him from the Prem and then just play a weaker side in the Champions League. They've only got one more week of Champions League in the group stage. But I do think he'll be the best premium forward over the Christmas period. Jota, yes. Not sure about Rafinha yet. Ronaldo time game week 15 for sure. Got an assist game week 12. Hopefully he can get back to it. He's been very good in the Champions League as well. Rafinha plays when he's flagged and doesn't when he shows his fit. Yeah, this is true. He did it against Newcastle. And he got himself a goal actually as well in that game. Yeah, Rafinha's a bit of a troll with his injuries. I've been so bad this season, man. Nothing worked for me in FPL. Yeah, well, FPL can be like that. Like, sometimes everything can be so good and, like, you're scoring plenty of points and all the transfers are coming off. And there can be just weeks where it doesn't go well. Like, for us, we were, like, 3-0 in the world after game week 1. And we were just thinking, what has happened to the team? But otherwise from there, it's been decent. It's just swings and roundabouts. I'm sure you'll be able to get back. Rafinha was said to be spotted in training this week with Rodrigo. Oh, well, that's good then. That's good signs. As long as he stays flagged, he should be good to play, it seems. Thank you for the content, mate. Must I buy Alonso and play 5-4-1, or it's more worth buying Gallagher and playing 4-5-1? Will Foden play in game week 13? In terms of Alonso and Gallagher, I think Alonso's going to be an elite pick. So I'd probably go him. I'm assuming you already have a Chelsea. If you already have a Chelsea defender, then you could just go for Gallagher. And I do think Gallagher's a better option than Foden. Foden's just not scoring at the minute. Who is currently playing false 9 for City since Foden moved to the wing? That's a good question. Obviously, Cole Palmer played in the weekend. It was actually decent, so there is potential that he plays again. But I'm not sure about that. They've obviously got Ferran Torres, but I think Cole Palmer's definitely going to be playing. It could definitely potentially be Cole Palmer. I captain Trent for the past 2 game weeks. Should I continue the chain? That's insane. Yeah, well, 15 points this week. That's clutch. If you want to go for the differential, then it could be worth it again. Like Southampton at home, there is a chance for the clean sheet plus an assist, and then he's always going to get on bonus points as well. Let's have a look at the man's bonus points this year. Actually, 15 bonus points. That is outrageous. And we'll have a look. Highest scoring bonus point players. Surely Trent is up there. 15 points. Salah 16. So he's the second highest bonus points player in the game. So definitely could be a nice captaincy shout. I have James Cancelo, Reguilon, and Semedo on my defence for this week. And what do you think? It's not a bad defence. I mean, if you're not having the greatest rank, it's just unlucky. I think I would like to see Trent in that defence. It's pretty much do whatever you can to get Trent in that defence without getting rid of Reece James and Cancelo. This week, though, the fixtures aren't looking like they're looking fairly good for your defence. The only thing is you're missing out on a lot of points with Trent. But otherwise, it's decent. Gabriel and Bernardo are playing false 9, although I don't watch Man City much. That's what I've observed. Well, yeah, Bernardo Silva's actually been positioned as a centre mid in Man City's games. He just gets that attacking that he plays in that spot. And then, yeah, well, Jesus has played out wide and central as well, so it's hard to tell. I was very close to captaining Cancelo, but then I went for Salah last minute. Well, that's just FPL. I think Salah's definitely the best pick because you know the consistency's there with Salah that you're going to get the points every week. So it's always good to go for the safe option. And I think if a lot of people go for him and he does well, and Cancelo doesn't perform as well as him, then you can see the rank drop. Werner as a striker option with him and Lukaku back in contention. You just have to wait and see for him to start putting the ball in the back of the net. Like, he was looking decent when Lukaku was first ruled out with injury. Like, Chelsea had a decent fixture run at that time, but just couldn't get any attacking returns. Should I get Cancelo for free or Cancelo Alonso for a -8? Would that not be a -4? If you've already got a Chelsea defender, don't worry about taking another -4 just to get a Chelsea defender. I think is what I'd say. Carol, I'm 717 points, ranked 1 mil right now. Is it an average performance or slightly below? What do you think? At this point in the season, as long as you're like around the top 1 mil, you've still got plenty of opportunity to push into the top. However many K you want to get, like top 100K, top 200K, is still a very respectable rank for sure. Chilwell to Rudiger, not sure since it's a sideways move. You could go Chilwell to Alonso, potentially a better transfer. Joel Pearson, I've decided to go for 5 defenders, Trent, Cancelo, James, Rudiger, and for Emerson Royale. Last one I'm pretty hopeful of going forward. Yeah, well, that's a very attacking defence, obviously. Apart from Rudiger, who does get decent attacking returns for a centre-back, 2 goals, 1 assist. But I think it is the time for defenders right now in FPL. I can see there's definitely a lot of good defensive options. There's a Chelsea double up. You could go Spurs defence with Conte, he's looking solid as well. Alonso or Region, I definitely think Alonso is the better pick for sure. Also, guys, can we try and get the stream to 20 likes at the moment? There's over 30 people watching and just 12 likes, so if we can try and get just at least 8 more people to like to get to 20, it'd be awesome. Bernardo is 1 mil cheaper than Foden, so if you don't have Foden yet, you can get Bernardo as a decent differential pick. 100% agree. I think Bernardo, for that mil cheaper, is definitely worth going for differential because he's been so good this season and he's pretty much nailed in the Prem. Bernardo is definitely one that's a differential midfielder, as well as Cornet, decent differential shout there as well. The good thing right now, I would have said with FPL, is there's lots of differential options that you can go for. There is the typical template, Trent, Cancelo plus a Chelsea defender, and then Salah. But really, like, forwards, you could go with anyone. Even keepers, there's a lot of variation in midfielders. We've got Saka, Rafinha, Gallagher. We could easily have like a Smith Rowe, a Cornet, a Gallagher, a Bernardo. There's plenty of options right now in FPL. Any suggestions? I just really want to improve my team, my current team. So Trent Cancelo, James Rudiger, Salah, Foden, Son, Jota, Tony, and Huang. Bench Foster, Embuemo, Livramento, Davis. That's a very good team. Like, there's not really too much you can do with that team at the moment. It's a fairly stacked midfield. I think if you could get rid of any player from that team, it'd be Foden at the moment. Didn't look that great in Game Week 12. If you want to go for a City midfielder, you could go for Bernardo. Save a bit of money. I got 84 points. Very impressive. That's a great week this week. Without any chips. Nicely done. Nicely done, Hamza. Carroll already made a transfer from Chilwell to Alonso instead of Regon. A good move. Man U will be without Varane, Maguire, and Pogba. Maybe Chelsea at home, plus great form, will dismantle them. Heavily, yes. Well, even with those lads playing, they've been destroyed by Liverpool and City. So I don't really see why it's not going to be the same against Chelsea, to be honest. I think regardless of who the manager is, they're just not playing well as a team at the moment. They got embarrassed by Watford. Yeah, so it looks like overall a lot of people scored decent this week. 35% of the poll, 60 to 70, and 38% 70 to 80, which is very impressive. Only 3% of people scored below 60, which is, well, the average was 57, so pretty much everyone got above average this week, which is nice to see. Ali Max, Son has 3 weeks to prove himself. I guess he sort of has proved himself in a way this season. Surprisingly, he is the 4th highest scoring midfielder, and he's kind of slipped under the radar a bit. A lot of people do own him at the moment. His recent form's been quite poor. No returns in the last 4 weeks, but he did have, 2 goals and 2 assists in the 3 weeks before that. And to be fair, the Spurs fixtures, like West Ham away, is a bit tricky. United at home's okay, it's not the easiest. And Everton away is also a tricky fixture. Leeds at home, you could have expected more, but this is a nice run of fixtures for Spurs, so I think Son, if he can get points in those couple of games, he can cement himself as a decent premium option. Thanks for responding to our chats, just on my friend's Instagram. No worries, mate, that's easy. It's too easy responding to chats. As a Chelsea fan, I hate that Maguire isn't playing. It honestly makes United better. It honestly does. The guy's just mistake central. But then, yeah, well, who are they going to bring in? Like Eric Bailly. He's going to score an own goal again. There's just a lot of money in Son and not producing. Yeah, well, when you got it, yeah, exactly. When you're buying premium players, you need them to be getting consistent points because you're spending so much money on them. And especially with the Spurs attacking players, it's not happening at the moment. Like Kane, the whole season's been just terrible this season. And Son, he was decent and he's just not doing it in the last 4 weeks. There's not that many great premium options going around at the moment, and that I think is a reason why there's lots of variation in teams, because when there's a lot of premium players doing well, you go with those players, and
I switched into goal and I got 3 kills and 1 of them escaped.
and you're just limited by what you can choose for the rest of your team.
I'm going to we're dinner now. Actually, good kill. Do you want to wrap up the stream? Let's do circles range 5% now. Oh. What's going on, chat? You've been taken over. You've been stolen. Alrighty. Bring in your final questions now, or just DM us on social media with your questions. Yeah, we'll wrap this stream up there. We have to go do some stuff at the moment. It looks like the average in the poll was between 70 to 80. Nice. Yep. if you have any final questions, just DM us on Instagram, Twitter, whatever. Links are in the description of the stream. Would you suggest Foden and Manquillo to Alonso or Cornet or Son? Foden and Manquillo for Silva Cornet. Yes. Rate my team: Ramsdale, Trent, James, Chev, Marcus, Zhao, Mo, Hyunmin, Connor, Emil, Huang, Harry. That's a decent team. I rate it. Chilwell to James. Obviously James. Alonso's not going to get minutes. He's getting champs, and Alonso is not as attacking as James. I don't know why you want to switch Chilwell though. I mean, like they're both getting very similar points, so I don't really see the need. But if you want to make the transfer, then I would put it to James instead of Marcus. Yeah, we'll wrap it up there, guys. Once again, socials are in the description: Twitter, Instagram. Check out those. DM us on there with any final questions. And the next stream we'll catch you guys in will be our deadline stream, which will be this Saturday, I believe. We just have a look when the first game is. Yeah, so our deadline stream will be at around 9 o'clock. 9 o'clock Melbourne time. Last question I'll answer: Chilwell to Region. I already got James. Well, I mean, double Chelsea defense at the moment is looking very nice because Chilwell, James are both getting absolute holes, as we've seen within the past couple of game weeks. But yeah, at the same time, Region's a good option. Look, if you don't want to take the risk of double Chelsea, then I reckon that'll be a good move. But at the same time, Chilwell and James are both getting lots of points anyway, so there wouldn't be any need to change that, I wouldn't think. See Norwich's new logo as well. It hasn't updated on here, but they unveiled their new logo. It's pretty interesting. Yeah, anyway, we'll catch you guys for the deadline stream. I hope you enjoy. I hope you enjoyed the stream. If you haven't already liked the stream, we'll try to get to 25 likes, 4 more likes. And with that being said, I will see you guys in the next stream.